We're going to be talking about the North Valley of Albuquerque today. We're here at the Golf and Event Center at Balloon Fiesta Park. As you can see, the beautiful Sandias in the background, with a little bit of driving range here. Now we're here at the Golf Center to work a little bit on my game. It's just off of my last post. I have some practice to do, but something I've challenged myself to do is to get better at golf. And it's a way for me to show the neighborhoods here in Albuquerque. We started with the west side, and now we're moving a little bit closer into the North Valley here and show you some of the other lifestyle through in and out the area. Now, the North Valley runs from I-40 up until this area around Balloon Fiesta Park, and in between the Rio Grande and I-25. It's down in the valley of Albuquerque, where when you go up towards the mountains, it comes down into before you hit the mesa of the petroglyphs and the west side of Albuquerque. In the North Valley, there are a few different neighborhoods throughout. It's a unique blend of farmland and more urbanized areas. You have Los Duranos, you have an area like the Meadows, Los Poblanos, Las Candelarias, up to Los Griegos. You make your way up to Los Ranchos. It's a very historic area of this North Valley as you come up here now towards Alameda and the Golf Center of Balloon Fiesta. Most of the neighborhoods do feel akin to being a gated community and having a unique blend of farmland and newer construction. Now let's dive a little bit deeper into the real estate market in the North Valley and take a look at a few data points here. This data is collected from January 1st, 2025 up until today, June 7th, 2025. As you can see, there are currently 98 and 73 active and pending listings, with 174 having closed over the past 6 months. Notable things to look out here for is the sold priced category, where the average sold price is $524,000 and the median is $355,000. Now, the average gets pulled higher because you have some of these high $4 million homes, but the median is a good indication of where the market is at. And if you look at cumulative days on market for those, it sits at around 24. Now, for the second part of this data, we can look at what the average sold price was versus the list price. And you can see that it's in about the 99th percentiles for the first 30 days, and it tends to go down a little bit as you go longer. What's notable is this second part at the bottom where it says that the number of listings that sold in the first 30 days was 154. And that's a good data point for buyers when they are looking. It means that you need to move a little quickly. Now, I'm happy to dive in more to these numbers from a seller's perspective or a buyer's perspective, but at least this gives you an idea of what the North Valley is like. Now, the lifestyle in the North Valley tends to be a little bit more slower pace of life. We say a slower pace of life because of the proximity to the Rio Grande and being in and around the natural river and nature trails there. The water runoffs as well into the acequias and arroyos also make for awesome nature trails and biking trails. And it really just adds an element of being close to the element of nature and the lush greenery and trees that are there. Now, the slower pace of life also is part of the farmland history and it being a very historically agricultural neighborhood and area. There really is a feeling of being able to step away from the busy city life and enjoy a lot more connectedness to nature. I really shouldn't be worried, but I'm kind of nervous about the geese right there. I probably won't hit them, but it's one of those where I'm not good enough to aim past them. Now, even though it does have a slower pace of life, there's still lots to do in the North Valley. There's lots of parks with large fields for soccer or football or even playgrounds or tennis courts and basketball courts. You also have the Rio Grande Nature Center State Park or the Los Poblanos Open Space, which both offer more ways to get out into nature and enjoy the greeneries there. There's also other fun activities such as breweries, wineries, coffee shops. Some notable places to visit are Steelbender or Hops Brewing, Casa Rondena Wineries, and La Luz Coffee Shop, as some of the other fun activities to do and to meet people at. You're also fairly close to Old Town and downtown, just going right across I-40. Now, of course, if you're more in the northern region of North Valley, it does take a little bit longer to get there. You sit in a great area to be close to all of Albuquerque from the North Valley, both the west side and the northeast heights. And I'll allude a little bit more to commute times later in this video. Over by I-25, you also have Topgolf. There's a movie theater and event center for music and shows. As far as restaurants go, there is a blend of some very awesome local restaurants such as Campo and El Pinto, which have a big presence in Albuquerque as being some of the major local restaurants that are must tries. Up by I-25, there's a huge section of major restaurants that you can go to, such as Tula's, Tomasitas, which are some local ones, but you also have your other main chain-like ones such as Bubba's and P.F. Chang's. The Los Ranchos area also has a cute little shopping area where you have the historic Route 66 drive of it, and yes, it looks more modern now with the roads, but they still has that historic charm built into it still. Now, one complaint about the North Valley is the proximity to grocery stores. You really only have La Montanita Co-op, which is an awesome little grocery store that has a lot of local and organic options. However, in order to get to any other ones such as Sprouts, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, or even Smith's, you do need to go either over to the west side, up to the Northeast Heights, or down into the Old Town and downtown. You do have some options with Costco being right by I-25 and Sam's Club, but in order to get those smaller grocery stores, it is going to be a 5-10 minute drive. It's easy to get to anywhere in Albuquerque from the North Valley. It is a little dependent on if you're more in the southern or northern region of that North Valley area, but for the most part, to get over to the west side will take about 5-10 minutes. Up until the foothills of the Sandias will take about 15 to 20. The airport, if you're down on the south end, will only be about a 5-10 minute drive. Now, if you're up on the north end, you just hop right on Paseo and go on to I-25, and it might still be about 10-15 minutes, but it's fairly easy to get around all parts of Albuquerque from the North Valley. Now, as far as schools go, there really is only two major high schools in this area, and it's Valley High School, which is a public high school, and you have Sandia Prep, which is a private high school. As far as elementary schools go, there are a few different options. Los Duranes Elementary School is actually now currently rebuilding. There's also Los Ranchos Elementary School, as well as some others sprinkled throughout. There are about 5 to 10 different elementary schools in the North Valley. Hopefully this gives a little glimpse into the North Valley, and of course this is not all encompassing of the areas, the schools, and the neighborhoods, as well as the price points. But I wanted to give a little data of where currently the market is at, what the lifestyle is like in terms of nature, restaurants, and other activities to do. If you have any other questions or want to know anything more about the North Valley or in Albuquerque in general, please don't hesitate to call or text at 505-219-5253. Thanks for coming, and I hope to see you on the next one.